Welcome to Let's Assess, a series that looks at why video games are good or bad. This time we look at Mirror's Edge, the good one, not the inevitably awful one that's due for release in June this year.
Mirror's Edge is one of those games that comes out of nowhere, captures the hearts of gamers, and then inexplicably disappears just as fast as it came. Kind of like a ninja with a heart fetish. Huh.
Anyway, let's have a look at how the game works. Dude, what the is wrong with you?
Let's start with Csikszentmihalyi's theory of flow. Flow in Mirror's Edge comes from how the player moves through a level, parkour, through seamlessly combining moves to travel through levels without effort. Once that skill level is there, traversing the environment's speed feels like bliss.
Moving on to Kalwa and the types of play theory. Aegon in Mirror's Edge can be found in traversing the levels in the fastest times possible, and then trying to beat those times over and over again. The game also allows players to beat the times of their friends online. There is also a challenge in the very short campaign mode, with enemies and other obstacles getting in the way. Aaliyah. Chance comes from a player's friend being able to beat their best times at any point. Mimicry comes from the player taking control of the character Faith, a runner messenger in a world that is being controlled by the corporations, clearly inspired by Orwell's 1984. Finally, Ilinx. Distortion comes from the player's ability to temporarily slow down time to be able to pull off more complex moves, or take down enemies faster.
Moving on to the last theory of the video, Bartle and his many player types. Kinda sounds like Joseph and his technical bedroom code. Huh.
Dude, seriously, what the hell, man?
I don't even know anymore. The player type that Mirror's Edge is made for is Achiever. The game offers players multiple and interesting ways of beating it, whether it be in under 4 hours or without firing a single bullet. There are countless ways of beating the game. There is also an explorer element to the game too, with collectibles hidden throughout each level for players to find if they wish. For socializers and killers, there isn't much, other than having online leaderboards for a social aspect, and occasionally being able to kill bad guys, if you want to, but that makes the game boring. There isn't anything for those players. Is it possible in the game not to kill any bad guys? Like,
Yes.
can you do a pacifist run?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
There are parts where that becomes extremely difficult, but throughout the majority of the game, that's like the best way of playing. Like, there's no reason to kill any bad guys in any point of the game if you know how. There is one point right near, like pretty much right at the end of the game, where you're locked in a room with 6 bad guys who have all got really high powerful automatic weapons that are shooting at you. But if you, because I've played this bit recently, you can get through that without killing anybody. Or with guns, anyway, you can get through that without, taking a gun off somebody and starting shooting everybody up. It's just really tricky, and that's where the kind of skill level comes in from it as well. But yeah, it is pretty easy to go through the entire game without killing anybody. It's also really easy to go through the game killing everybody. It is
That's what I would
completely
do.
up to you. That's what I did in my very first playthrough of it when I first got the game. I was like, I have a gun in a free running game. But then when you get the gun, you realise you can't actually free run. It just turns into a normal boring FPS.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not like you can. It's not like Brink or the new Call of Duty where you can like run and wall run and shoot at the same time. It's no, you just become a normal boring person when you get a gun.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. But it's doable though, if you want to do that. Anymore?
What's sort of the reward in the game for not killing anyone or for killing anyone?
If you do it without killing anybody in the entire game, you get achievements. You get achievement for not firing a single bullet in a level. So that's one level you can't fire a gun. And then there's one for not killing anybody throughout the entire game. And that includes like kicking people off of ledges and having them fall to the death. Because there is a scene where you're running across scaffolding and a policeman runs around the corner and there's like nothing behind him, just a straight drop to the street, which is like 50 stories. And usually when you play that, because you saw it in the trailer when you watch the trailers for the game, you just run at him, jump, and then just like flying drop kick him over the edge and just watch him fall. That counts as a kill, and I did that in my pacifist run because I was just like, I have to see this again. It's gonna sound really dark, but it's funny. It's just really funny to watch him go over.
It does sound pretty awesome.
It is pretty cool. But yeah, there's achievements for it. And to be honest, if you can learn how to do that, then the time trials are going to be a lot easier, because there's no enemies in the time trials, so you pretty much just focus on the level. So it's kind of like, if you can figure out how to get around the enemies without hurting them or without killing them, then it's going to be a lot easier for you when you just have to run through where they normally are without having them there, to get like the best time. Yeah.
Are there any benefits to exploring it, or is it set levels?
It is set levels, but there are, like I said, collectibles. There are collectibles around the level. I think there's 3 yellow bags of level that you have to collect, and then you get like extra concept art or something after you've got all of them. They're quite tricky to find because they're not in like the usual path that you take through a level. You sometimes have to go out your way to find them. But yeah, other than that, not really. It's just exploring the environment to try and find the fastest route through the level, if that makes sense.
Alright.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. This is the final review that we are going to do.
Sad.
It's so sad. So sad.
End of an era.
It is an end of an era. There's 5 videos. If you are starting on this one, please go back and check out the other videos. You may find them interesting. We may bring this back in the future. Possibly not, because this is for my uni course. But yeah, thanks for watching, and goodbye.